Hello everybody and welcome to Solar Indie Sunday. That's right, we're bringing back Solar Indie Sunday. Technically not on a Sunday, but until I figure out a better name going forward, we're just going to use the old series. So anyway, welcome to Evolution. Evolution is a game by North Star Games, and it was actually a board game first. And they've actually just converted it to a video game, which is pretty damn awesome because I actually played this with my friends, the board game, and it's actually quite a lot of fun. You basically create these creatures with different traits, and you have to manage their population by eating every single turn, and if you can't, then your population dies, and that's how you're scored, and it's actually really fun. We'll get into that in a second. So this game is currently out. It was actually just released yesterday or the day before that, and it is $11.99 currently on Steam. Now that is actually a special promotional offer. Originally the game was $14.99, but up until February 19th, it is going to be 20% off. So if you do find this video interesting, I highly suggest you take a look at it before the promotion runs out. Now before we begin here, I do want to say that North Star Games has provided me a copy of this game. I have to say that for legality reasons, but my opinions are of course my own. So yeah, let's get into this. Now I am going to jump into a local game, AI game. Oh, there is a campaign where you basically face off against stronger and stronger foes as you go on. And there is online, so you can play with your friends and, well, destroy them with your own creatures. Now, of course, you do create your creatures every single game. It's not like something that's carried over. It is a card-type game, but it's different. You'll see. All right, so we're going to jump into an AI game. And now you can choose different opponents based on their skill level and different tactics. Now, we are going to choose just a medium kind of balanced opponent, just so I can show you guys the game, but of course, obviously not let it be too easy, because I have tested this, and I'm pretty decent, I would say. But it does go up all the way to Expert AI, which would be an interesting thing to take a look at, but I haven't unlocked anything over there. Either way, we're going to play with a medium Regularis, and let's go. Okay, now one thing to watch for as well is that the maps, I think there are like maybe 4 or 5 different types of maps, and they start basically this kind of like barren, but as food gets into the watering hole, which I will explain in a second, things start to appear around, and it's actually really cool. I'm a big fan of small details, if you know, you don't know that already, and so that's just one cool thing that they added to this battle sequence. Anyway, so I am going to talk about the overview before we dive into the actual gameplay. So, up at the top here we have our opponent, and his deck of cards, as well as his creature. So these are our creatures over here and here. Now they start off basically pretty simple. We have 1 population, 1 body size, and then 3 empty trait slots. So the traits basically affect how your creature operates. You can make them a carnivore, or you could keep them a herbivore, but maybe one of the traits actually lets you pick up 2 food from the watering hole instead of 1. So there's different traits in here that we'll get to as we play. The population you're going to want to increase, but you're also going to want to do it a little bit smartly, because you have to feed the exact population that you have. And you're going to want to collect as much food as possible before the end of the game, because that's how your score is tallied up. Your overall population on the board currently counts towards your score, your trait cards, and obviously the amount of food that you have in your stockpile. So that's how you score the game. This little marker up here basically says who goes first and who gets to feed first. And we'll get into that as we get through this round here. So first and foremost, what you have to do is take a look at your cards down at the bottom. This little leaf at the top left basically indicates how much food you want to put into the watering hole. You do waste the card, technically, when you put it into the watering hole. But obviously, if it has a lot of food like this one, it might be worth it. So I am going to drop in the ambush, which is just 2 food, but this is kind of a card that I don't really care about right now. So, yeah, let's drop it in. Okay, now this is the turn where you basically enhance your species. So we can add trait cards to the creature, or add more species. Of course, this does waste the card, but you do get another species out of it. Or add body size and population. I think, first and foremost, we are going to add long neck to our creature. So long neck, as you can see over here, before the feeding round begins, you gain 1 free food. So we actually don't have to feed ourselves if we add this trait onto our 1 population creature, which is pretty cool. Now, I do like fat tissue as well. Fat tissue can store extra food up to its body size. So technically, if we add this onto our creature as it stands right now, we can store 1 extra food on this card for the next round. you'll see how that kind of plays into effect, but it's actually a really, really decent card for an herbivore. We will add that onto you as well, and possibly increase your body size. So now we can store 2 food on this creature for the next round, but also gain 1 free food. So we can support a population of 3 on this creature alone. Now, I know this is a lot to kind of take in, and I do apologize just for the long talk, but you'll see how this basically works as time goes on, as you see it. This game is actually a little bit more simpler than it sounds. We will end our turn, which begins the feeding round. So collectively, we added 4 food to the watering hole. And now we're going to go ahead and auto-feed. And there we go. We each added 1 food to our stockpiles. Now, as you saw there, our creature did store the 2 food in this body fat. All right, let's dump in the hard shell. So we'll gain 2 food in the center. And for traits, we might want horns. It's a nice defensive card, or we can just wait and just keep pumping in our population or add a new species. Now, if we take a look at our opponent, so they currently have hard shell, so they have +4 body size for defense. They have climbing, which negates any carnivore attack that doesn't have the climbing trait. So carnivores that attack need to have certain traits if the herbivore does as well. And then warning call, so a carnivore must have ambush to attack species on either side of this one. Wow, that's actually pretty strong. All right, let's drop in another species, as well as another population over here. Actually, you know what? Let's just do 2 population over here, because we can support the 3. All right, let's end the turn. So the opponent went all out and created 2 new species. We'll see how that actually works for them. 5 more food in the watering hole. Okay, and we're all safe. We collected 4, they collected 3, it looked like. All right. So we're going to toss in... Okay, so we can actually get rid of Warning Call. I don't think I'm going to be using this for the time being. So that's +3 food to the watering hole. Okay, they added 2 more population. They're getting kind of crazy. Now we could turn this one into a carnivore, which would be interesting. Yeah, we can take a look at that, I suppose. Let's add climbing onto it so that we can attack this herbivore if need be. Let's also add foraging onto our first creature so that we always take 2 from the watering hole at a time. Let's increase our body size on the carnivore, actually. Right? No. Population. Yeah, our herbivore is actually coming up pretty strong. We can easily support 4, I think. 4 population. Let's roll with this for now. All right. And there it is, the transition to Angry Bird. Now, one thing that I didn't mention is that these little icons can be customized. There are many, many different creatures you can choose from. You have to unlock them all, I think. So there is that, but not too bad. All right, so our carnivore. One thing to note about the carnivore is that if there is no opponent to attack, you have to attack yourself. And by attack yourself, obviously, I mean all of your other species. So if for some reason you can't attack any other creature, it's best to set up like a dummy creature where you can always feed from. So, you have to watch out for that. It's an interesting dynamic, but we don't have to worry about that right now. We can actually go ahead and attack... Well, the one thing... Oh, wait, no, sorry. The body size. Oh, I should have... Right. Okay, so our body size is actually too small, so we're actually going to lose this, this carnivore. Whoops. I should have added the scavenger to the body size of the carnivore. I was going to do that, too. I don't know why I stopped. Well, either way, let's go ahead and feed with our herbivore. And I guess our carnivore dies. It's pretty sad, but that's a circle of life. Alright, so the opponent also loses one species. And we both gained 4 food. Okay. Huh. Well, I wanted to show you guys the carnivore, but I kind of screwed that one up. God, and I said I was decently good at this game? I might not be. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put in this pack hunting. Just because it's not something we could really use right now, and plus it's 3 food. What are we going to play? So we can create another species, which I think I'm going to do with the ambush card, because it's kind of useless for us at this point in time. I'm going to add... probably fertile. So fertile grants you 1 population if there's extra food in the watering hole at the end of the round. I don't think there's going to be for quite a while, but it should be interesting to see if that actually affects our species in the future. I don't think any of these are really useful, so we'll add another population over here. Maybe even 1 more population. No. Let's just add more body size, I think. This herbivore is basically our moneymaker. They're the ones that are stockpiling the most food for us and have the best possibility of making it through the entire game. So we're going to keep this one alive. I haven't seen the AI use a carnivore yet, so it should be interesting to see if they actually pull one out on us. Up, and there we go. Just as I talked about it, the AI has created a carnivore. And boosted its body size as well, so we're actually in harm's way. That absolutely sucks, but it's not like we're going to lose much. This herbivore isn't that great, so it's not a big deal. We'll go ahead and collect food. Do it again. Okay, and we're going to lose this this creature, so we might as well just use the extra food on the reserve. Yep. There it goes. And they lost 2 other creatures. So not too bad. Alright, so we're going to put some food into the center. I think I'm going to put in this hard shell. Actually, I want to put in this defensive herding. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, they're really beefing up their herbivore right now. Unless they made that into a carnivore. I don't know. Alright, so they do have ambush. So this warning call is actually pretty useless. So let's create a new species with this card. Let's add hard shell. And climbing. And let's use this carnivore to increase the body size of our herbivore over here. Just so they can't attack us. I don't think they can because we were the same body size, but just for extra protection, let's just do that for the future. Alright, we're good. End turn. So we just added 8 food to the center, which is insane. And with our body size being 5, we can support 5 extra food on our trait card, which is actually very, very nice, which means that we don't actually have to feed ourselves every round, so long as we keep filling this up. Now, we are safe from the carnivore attack, so I will focus on feeding this this creature first, and then obviously the rest just on this. Okay, and that's it. The carnivore has no food, therefore it dies. Perfect. And we're up to 20 food in our stockpile currently. I'm not sure if we can see the opponent's score at this point in time. No, it doesn't look like we can. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think we can see their stockpile, which is fine. It does show you at the end of the game. It tallies it up, so I guess it's kind of like a wait and see kind of thing, which is pretty cool. What are we going to toss into the center? I would really like to showcase the carnivore, but it looks like these ones are just way too strong to be taken out by a single carnivore. So I think we're going to toss the carnivore into the center. Actually, no, we're going to toss ambush in here, because that's really useless if we don't have a carnivore. Okay, cooperation's actually really, really good. Basically, every feeding, you share one food to the right. So let's say we added this to this creature right here. Another creature to the right will always gain food once this one feeds. I think we're going to go ahead and waste pack hunting to create another species. And with this, let's add another body size over here. And maybe another population? It doesn't hurt, but I think I'd rather increase the body size. For now. Alright, so they made a new creature. Let's hope it's not a carnivore. Nope, it's not. Okay, so again, and this is just insane, but our creature has already fed itself, and it hasn't really even begun the turn. That's insane. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out our new trait by sending this creature into the watering hole, which gains 1 extra food and sends it off to this creature over here, which is nice. Very, very good. Now, the only thing to do is stockpile our reserve. Okay. Now, this is the last round of the game. This is, this is everything. Oh, damn it, we didn't get a carnivore card. I was hoping to showcase that at the very end, but that's alright. I think just to have a good, well-balanced last round, let's go ahead and toss our 5 card in. Let's add the long neck to this creature. Let's increase the population by 1. Increase the population of this one by 1 as well. Let's increase the body size and the population. Yeah. I like that. Alright, let's end the turn and see what happens. So the watering hole is filled with 9 food. What's going to happen? So obviously I think I want to send you into the center first to feed the adjacent creature. If we do it again, these 2 are safe. And then there should be 1 remaining. Oh no, there won't be. So I will lose 1 population off this first creature here, but I don't think that's a big deal. This is more bang for my buck. Yeah, so we did lose 1 population here, but the opponent lost 3. And we gained a pretty hefty amount of stockpile right there. So anyway, now it's going to calculate the overall score. We had 7 traits, 9 population, and it looks like we pulled ahead at the very end. We gained 52 total scores opposed to their 39, and we are crowned the victor. Very nice. All right, well, that's it. That's Evolution. Like I said before, it is a pretty simple game. It takes a while to explain everything, but once you get the hang of it, you see how things work very, very easily, and it's actually pretty enjoyable. Creating these creatures and strategizing over how much food you're going to be able to get and all that. But anyway, this has been Evolution. Again, this is a conversion from a board game, so if you do want to go ahead and take a look at the board game, I will have a link in the description for both the video game and the board game, and you can take a look at that. I do want to thank Northstar Games for giving me a code to their game so I could show you guys, and yeah, so thank you all for watching, and definitely stay tuned for more.